Hello, good evening. Welcome to another episode of Easy 8's Online Painting Club. My name is Danny and I'm going to be here for the next 2 hours keeping you company while you go about your hobby painting business. I've got a hair in my eye. There's always something to throw me off right at the beginning. That's a bit better. Jeff is right. It is swatty hot here. Hence I have given away the black shirt today and I've gone down to the white t-shirt. It was just too hot. I've got a skylight window open over there. I've got a fan blowing beneath me. It's bearable at the moment. How is it where you are? Is it as hot as balls where you are? Because it has been incorrect temperature today for me. I think it's been about 20, it says 26 degrees currently downstairs. Today I think I've been working in roughly 29 degrees, which if I'm honest with you, is about 20 degrees too hot. It's really warm, but do you know what? At least the sun's out. At least it's nice, right? Some people are saying there, look at those pale arms. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I work in the outdoors, so I have the outdoors t-shirt, we call it. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? So look after yourselves though, because when the sun's out, you know, UV, melanoma's no joke, kids. Get some sun cream on. You can see my lovely suntan from my sunglasses, and I'm not even outdoors a lot, so all of my team are out there all the time. It has been really warm, and thunderstorms over the weekend, and cold and wet moving into next weekend. So, but it's not a weather show. No. This this show is not even a tutorial for painting. No, it's just a painting club. You can come along, paint your stuff live, knowing that someone else out there is doing exactly the same thing. Sometimes we've got mountains and mountains of stuff to get through, projects that we've hoarded over the sometimes years and decades or whatever, and we never get around to painting them because buying them, dopamine. Never really kind of give it the attention to the painting of it when we go to the shop, we're going to buy the thing, and then, yeah, that's it, I'll buy another thing. So, yeah, paint your stuff, basically. That's what this show's all about. My camera feels like it's got a larger frame on today. Whatever, doesn't matter. I wasn't here last week, and I haven't been in the studio at all since. So I'm just picking straight back up where I left off. It's been an insanely busy week where I work. It's only getting busier the next few weeks as well. It's very stressful. I haven't been up here at all. Trying to buy a house on top of it all. It's a little bit much, really. So I'm really looking forward to this evening, just kind of painting some stuff. If you're working on something, genuinely would like to know about it, so come along, tell me all about it, chat about it with these guys over here in the live chat. I'm going to have a little look to see who we've got over there today. There's quite a few people chatting away. I've got a hair in my nose as well. Maybe their fans blowing little dust right. I need to hoover up here. We've got Shiv from Table of Horrors. Hi Shiv. We've got Crumfur. That's a new name. I know that's Crumbs Studio, but Crumfur. Okay, cool. Why the name change, sir? I like it. It's cool. Adrian. Hi Adrian. A minute and he'll be melting. It's starting to happen because as soon as the computer's on and it runs the broadcast software, it gets warm in here. But there is airflow. There's airflow. We've got Jeff. That's my dad. Hi, Dad. How are you doing? Just you guys for the moment, and there's a couple of other people in the background. Welcome to Easy 8. I hope you have a great time. It's literally just a place to make some company, doing the stuff that we love together. And if you want to join in with the live chat, you're welcome to. If you want to sit quietly in the background, that's also your prerogative. You do you, boo. I don't mind. If you like what we do here, of course, please don't forget to subscribe to the show. You are the community. I'd love it if the community size grew, because we're reaching more people and bring into the fold. I'm not like pretentious or anything like that. It's just a place where you can come along, like-minded people, paint stuff together, because that's what we love to do, right? War games, just collectibles, dioramas, maybe you're not even painting, maybe you're drawing, maybe you're making some music. We've had that before. You're all welcome to come along, but subscribe. I'll tell you what, I'm going to give myself a sip of water. I'll give you a chance to give the little video a thumbs up. That'll be grand. Thank you very much. Go on, I'll let you go. Well, that's yum. Good. Cool. I've got no tea today, just a sensible bottle of water. So please do subscribe, hit the thumbs up button if you haven't done so already. Tell some friends about it at work. I'd love that. We've just got John from Out This World Models and Minis join us. Hi John, nice to see you again. Hi all, at work, but I'm watching secretly. Shh, don't tell anybody, John. Thanks for coming along, mate. It's great. Jeff says, I'm chuffing cooked is how I am. Yeah. Do you know what? It's warm, isn't it? You're a ginger man as well. Don't go outside. You'll just... Crumb says it's going to be around 32 over the weekend. Yeah, that's just unacceptable as I'm concerned. Get some colour on your grey, not your sunburn. Yeah, absolutely. Could be worse. You could have one arm and more than the other down to driver's arm. In my field of work, you'll find different types of like sunburns, whatever. In the south of France, my old company, they would have buoyancy aids of being in the water, so they'd have like a vest-shaped sunburn, where the straps are on the side, they'd have like little squares going down the side, so you knew he was a water sport for sure. Look after yourselves, right? Adrian says, I'm still plugging away at that 2,000 point army heavy weapons team done once. Working on that, sir. That is some epic work. Well done for you. It's always been Crumbs that says Crumsfair. Crumfair, I recently had to re-sign back in my account, and it seems to have resurrected the fur. Lovely. Resurrected the fur. Feels a bit weird. I'm in the process of painting the one true Hawk Boy. Photos or it never happened, please. You can find us here on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram and Discord, where you can join me and a whole host of our viewers at the ETA After Party on Discord. I got through that whole sentence without screwing it up once. Your sound has cut out a bit. Your sound's cut out a bit. How rude. I know exactly what's done that. Bear with me a second. It's been a couple of weeks. I've been in the studio and I haven't selected my audio device. It's going to change now. Wait for it. Wait for it.
There it is. That's better, isn't it? Yeah, sorry, I just didn't set that before I came in. Anyway, I'm just going to straight over to the workbench. Here we go. Bye. So, here we are. This is what I was working on last week. Lots of bits and pieces. It hasn't even moved at all. In fact, my cup of tea that I had at the end of last week's episode, which was 2 weeks ago, was on the desk behind me, and it still had a tiny bit of tea in the bottom of it, and it was gross. It had developed a very chunky layer of its own ecosystem, and I ran it under the tap, and a cloud of spore disappeared, and it smelled like mouldy tea in here. So yeah, don't abandon your workbenches as long as I did, guys, because it's gross. So yeah, I haven't done anything more to it. Bit of a shame, but you know, it's working life, right? We do this as a hobby, not as our main. Well, you might do it as a job. I certainly don't. This all still needs working on. I spoke about that so many times. I'm just going to put that aside. Here's all the individual key components. I've got lower legs, I've got upper legs, I've got hips, and I'm wondering actually today, can I start assembling some of these pieces? For example, I could put this leg, I think that, yeah, twisty bit in there, I could put these two pieces together, but does it make it difficult for me to paint any of the pieces in there? It might do, so I'm quite keen, because I want to airbrush a lot of it, I'm quite keen to save it for later. You know, build it as and when I need to build it, glue it, whatever. But this piece here might be, that's to me that's okay, and that's reducing the amount that's, you know, that I've got to spray and hold and pick up and put down, etc. I've got here arms with the relevant bits that connect into the bottom of them. I think that's the right one. You can see what I mean. Look, see, they could go together, couldn't they? I think that's nice and simple. I haven't turned off my autofocus. Oh, a lot of things I'm missing today. Autofocus. Let's pull that in a little bit. Around about 20 seems to do it. Somewhere around about there, right? That looks good, doesn't it? There we are. So, yeah, I could probably glue those bits together, couldn't I? I've got some shoulder flappy bits. Now, they actually go onto the main body, so they're not going anywhere yet. These guys go on here like that. So they're not going to go anywhere. I've got some toes. The toes could go on, but there's so much stuff in there. Look at all that detail. And if I start putting these bits on, they do block it up a little bit. So I'm going to keep those off for now. I've got the hips again. Go into the bottom under here, so they can't really go on just yet. And that's like some sort of engine exhaust which goes on at the back here like that. He's actually got quite a big head. like a long torso section thingy. So not everything's going to go together, but I think I could at least get hips on and arms and guns on, right? But it still needs all spraying. I need to give it another coat. And you can see on these legs here, can you see all these dots? See all those dots? They are not supposed to be there. They are supports, where the supports have joined in. So one of the things I'm probably going to do a little bit later on, and I was hoping that wasn't going to be present really, you can see that there's little stress lines that come away from them between these little dots here and these. See all that? So that needs to be sanded away. So as a project that I'm not going to do here live on stream, is I'm going to sand that down, and where these pits are, I'm going to fill them with a tiny bit of green stuff. I've got a hair in my nose again. Get it out of my nose. I'm going to fill these with tiny bits of green stuff and then sand that down as well, and then that should make it all blend away real smooth. And you can see that there are scratches on him. That's printed in it as far as I can tell, unless whoever made it has done that by sanding it down. I can see lots of scratches all over it. Some of it looks like it's printed into it, other parts look like it's not. It looks like it's always like weathered damage on him, and I'm cool with that. That's fine, because he would have scuffs and damages all over him, wouldn't he? Some areas haven't got it, some areas do, which makes me think it's a deliberate move. There is a cat hair in my nose. Crazy. So yeah, I'm just gonna get painting basically, because there's a lot that needs doing. So I'm just gonna move all these bits out of the way over here, piece by piece. Oh, just try and keep it nice and tidy. Now, I gave my airbrush a really good post-show clean last week, or at least I dreamt that I did. So it was proper manky, and I had like a moment of exaltation at the end of, the end of last week's show, beginning of last week's show, where I managed to clean a load of rubbish out of it. Like that green stuff weld fluorescent paint had just turned to like a really thick, horrible gunk inside the airbrush, and I managed to get it out. It was amazing. I did clean it. Yay for me. Oh no I didn't. But it's just primer, so it should be fine. Man, I've been busy. Don't blame me. Let me turn the compressor on. There we go. Hopefully that should just come away. Yeah, there we go. Push that through. I remember staying up really quite late at the end of last week's show, which I'm not going to do this week because I am on my 12th day of work. I did 12 days in a row. I am absolutely exhausted. My health, because of it, this week has worried me a little bit, because I basically came home on Monday evening and I passed out. Work responsibly. It wasn't scary. I just worked myself to exhaustion, and it wasn't even physical exhaustion. It was clearly mental exhaustion. My job has a lot of factors to it. I have to wear a lot of hats, and I have been wearing a lot of hats. There we go. There's the blockage. Love that. And it was it's just been a bit silly these last couple of days. I love my job intensely, and I love the people I work with. It's just been a bit much. And there's more in there as well. Good old primer sticks together really easy. Comes out easy too. Yeah, I came home from work. My partner wasn't in the house because she was at work in the evening as well. I sat down on the sofa, petted the cat. Hello, cat. And then I woke up 3 hours later and I wasn't able to move very well. I was just utterly exhausted. And then, just to make things worse, I did it again yesterday. So I'm having 2 days off now, and I'm really happy for it. I work hard. And I need to play gentle, I think, just because it's been a bit crazy. So all I'm doing here, I've just put a little bit of cleaner into the airbrush there, and I'm just literally, I've removed like big chunks of paint. I'm just using my mixing brush here, just to see if there's anything in there. Just agitate it, lift it out. Because it's that primer, it's just sticking together. It's really easy to get out. There's a bit there, look. Lovely. And I'll give it a bit of a blast through in a second. Anything coming out that way? Nope. Perfectly clear all the way through. You can see light at the end of the tunnel, right? That's good. Is it because you're old now? Yeah, basically. But don't forget, if I'm really old, so are you. So don't throw stones in glass houses, Dad. You can tell I'm old because I said that phrase. Right, I need a scrapey thing. Have I got a scrapey thing? Yes is the answer, but where is it? That's kind of what I'm going for here. Maybe I don't have a scrapey thing. Maybe I'm just going mental. Oh, there it is. I see it. I see it. Just a big old lump of white primer in the nozzle protector there. And the reason I got white primer in there, when clearly I've got black primer all over my models, is because at the end of last week's show, I was enjoying myself so much, I sprayed up 3 new Tyranids. Yay! Sometimes it's just nice to have something on the side where if I get a bit exhausted painting one thing, it's nice just for 5 minutes just to go do another thing. So it's not even a project that I classify I'm working on, it's just there. And every now and again they get a little bit of treatment, they get a little bit of paint on them, and then, you know. Come on now. This little bit of cleaning isn't entirely necessary, it's just a nozzle protector. Just wanted to scoop out a big lump of primer that had dried in the ends. 12-day shifts, sucker. I'm glad I moved a job that has a 4-day week. Yeah, it's seasonal, and it's really common in my line of work. You'll get like 7+ day streaks, but that is where the working time directive ends for us. Occasionally you feel that you're about to go into more, and that is not allowed, and I don't allow it either. It is legal. But because I work in seasonal leisure and tourism, it is, I think the best way of describing it is a loophole in the system, because basically the working time directive allows you to make reasonable adjustments, so within parameters, of course. So yes, the work is extremely rewarding. It's really, really good fun. It's very demanding at this time of year, and you are often able to offset that time later on in the season. So people can take like massive holidays. A lot of people work seasonally, so they don't actually work over the winter at all. I do, but I will take all my time in lieu. I will take it as time off, and I'll probably end up working 3 or 4 day weeks myself. Just a little bit of garbage in the paint chamber there. Let's get that out, please. It's still in there, I can see it. Come on. Welcome to Easy 8's cleaning club. Just goes to show you that I'm an ordinary man painting ordinary things in an ordinary way, just like everybody else. Please join my show. Bit of paint on there, that would just come off. Yeah, lovely, thank you. Almost there. John says, I've been told I work too much and too hard. Hopefully 10 years until I can retire. Oh man, well, I hope you enjoy your job. Don't be looking to just retirement. I hope you get a lot out of it. Job should be fun and rewarding. Maybe things are different over there, I don't know. Oh, wondered why my airbrush wasn't working. I hadn't connected it properly. There we go, that's better. Seem to have good airflow. I'll give it a little bit of cleaner just in there like that. See if anything comes out. No, we're all good. In the hood. Excellent. Right, okay, cool. Well, what I'm going to try and do is focus on areas that don't have the primer. Even on areas where I think it doesn't need it. I'm going to hit it anyway, because I don't want there to be any little bits and pieces left over. Like on my Space Marine, where the arms, where the shoulders, you could see where it wasn't right. So, Sam's joined us. Dino Danny, hello mate, how you doing? Day off, let's go! Yeah, man, I am looking forward to the week. I've still got to do, like, you know, shopping, chores, laundry, all that sort of stuff. Haircut, because it's a bit uncontrollable at the minute. But yeah, looking forward to just having some time. Yeah. Anybody else? Tyrannus getting tickled with an airbrush. Yeah, that's right. I think for the first year ever, I have hay fever. You can develop an allergy any time in your life, man. Yeah, and they could just be there. I'm very fortunate I don't get it, but I do have an allergy to the cold, or more warming up quickly in the cold, which is horrid. Mike has joined us. Hi, Mike. A airbrush cleaning club, got mine in bits too. Yeah, man, it happens. You know, whatevs. Okay, cool. Let's put the white primer away. I don't want that. I want the black glossy primer. Whatever. Now, I didn't put any like mediums or flow improver or anything in with it last time, and I enjoyed how it worked. But if it doesn't last very long, I might put something in there just to stretch out its you know, its use a bit more, because it's getting a lot of primer on it. I don't want to waste it. If I can just mix something into it, dilute it a little bit, stretch it out a bit, that'd be cool, right? So I'm going to hold it from the toe. I'm going to do it from this end here. Flow test. We are flowing goodly. Brilliant. There's a lot of like undercrofts and things like on this detail here where I can see that the primer hasn't got in there very well, and I want it to. So yeah, I'm going to make it do that. It's actually quite bearable in here today, which is not normally the case in the heat. Even in the bits what you're not going to see under the feet there, I'm going to get that in there too. Oops. Stand up, please. Thank you. Right. One shin done. It is a shin, isn't it? Let's be honest. Got a little white dot on it. What is that dot, please? I think it's white primer, can you believe? Well, I don't appreciate its presence, frankly. It must have come from when I was spraying the Tyrannus at the end of last week's show, like a tiny little rogue dot. And it's quite intense for a tiny little dot, so it's probably got some texture to it. So I'm going to scrape it away. It will leave a bit of colour there, I reckon. Now I can just paint over it. But if I didn't scrape it away, it would build up, right, and it would show. So I don't want it like that. Excellent. Same again for this side. Still loads of paint in the chamber by the looks of it, which is good. I think a bit of debris has fallen into the paint chamber because it's sounding a bit squeaky, but it's still flowing. Oh no. was wiping that with my finger there because there were a couple of little splashes, a couple of little dots that looked like they'd kind of spattered out from the inside the airbrush, and again, I didn't want them to show up. I didn't want them to leave any texture. And if I get them while they're still sort of wet, I can just spread them around with my fingertip, basically. As long as the area wasn't saturated, which it wasn't, which would mean that I would leave fingerprints and streaks and things in the paint. Don't want that. Hit that with a little bit of air, agitate that into drying, and I can put it down comfortably. Yeah, those little dots really stand out, those little support dots, don't they? They need to go. There's a few on the rear toe as well. Don't like it. Right. Move on. I'll do the hips because, well, they're just big and easy to hold, I suppose. So, yeah, here we go. More comments. So this is primer you use. A primer, where can I get some? Don't know. From the bad language shop. Shut up. The paint surprise shop. That's the plaint schlop. It's going a bit weird again now, isn't it? You guys. I'm really just trying to establish that base layer. This is a glossy primer, which will give me a real smooth texture to spray on with the colour when I get there, which isn't too far away now, actually. I'm just trying to even that layer out, because when you first start spraying the primer on, it wants to, well, think about what you're saying, Dan. It goes patchy, but it's patchy not just in colour, it's patchy in texture as well. It takes a minute, a couple of layers to really establish the glossiness as well as the colour itself. And I'm looking for both texture and coloration. It needs to be black as a good base for the colour to go on top, and it needs to be shiny and smooth. Shiny means smooth. Which means that I'll get really smooth coloration with no weird like physical effects and stuff. It's getting a bit awkward to hold this, I might have to put this down now. So it's not an Optimus primer, an Optimus Plimer? Shut up. Don't take Optimus Prime's name in vain. Right, there's that bit done. Upper legs, yes. I will hold it by what sides? I don't know. By this side here, so I can do undersides. Again, by doing this, if there's any seams that doesn't look like it's fixed well when I put it together, it means that there won't be any like unpainted bits showing. One of the hardest bits to paint here is going to be that screw thread inside. Can you see that in there? Basically, that spins and he goes up and down, and that means his height goes up and down. You watch it in the film, I've never really paid any attention to it before, but it's there. It does it quite well. That's going to be quite difficult to paint that because I want that to be like really silvery. I will hold it like this. Yes. Am I right in saying that's just a gear screw? It's a gear screw, isn't it? It's a gear screw. I know there's some engineers watching this right now. It's a gear screw. Tell me I'm right. One shall stand, one shall fall. Where do we throw away your Plimer so easily? Maybe you should ask yourself the same question. Oh, I love Transformers. But as a child, I wonder if I'm going to get like online hate for this now. I didn't bat an eyelid when Optimus Prime died, and I think that's just because I was emotionally unintelligent as a child. Like I just didn't care. But you hear reports, don't you, of some people like just boycotting life. Like it was just. I wonder if it was a myth, but I remember watching a TV program where the makers of the Transformers toys and the series said that there was a boy in Germany who protested the death of Optimus Prime so hard he locked himself in his bedroom for a fortnight. Go to school, boy. Dedication to your cartoon franchise, crazy. When I was protesting like that, I was protesting like that when I was 14 too. Yeah, and there goes that family aspect of the show, right? Oh, and I've just run out of primer. Maybe I'll try mixing or something this time, just to see if it makes it go that little bit further. I mean, it will. I just want to see how much longer it lasts. Okay, so I will fill that hopper up to about there. I'm going to give it 4 drops of flow improver. Why not? One, 2, 3, 4. There we go. I wonder if that just makes it a bit easier to work with. Let's mix that around. There we go. Those are quite tricky bits to paint. Hips. They don't lie. Mine do. The death of Optimus Prime hit my dear mother harder than either myself or my brother when we watched it the first time. Are you joking with me, Sam? Did I really miss the spot, or are you taking the piss? What's going on? We watched it in a cinema. Yes, I'm that old. Yeah, I didn't watch it in a cinema, but I watched it on its release on VHS. Or the younger people in the audience are going, "What's a VHS?" A verse. There are some tricky parts to paint on that bad boy. In between all those like pneumatic rams. Yeah, it's very hard to get anything in there. That is difficult. I'm going to have to do a separate pass on those just to get stuff in there, I think. Yeah, because I'm starting to get paint sticking to my fingertips from being so close to it, and I don't want that to transfer onto the model itself. Yucky, gross. Bit of texture build up there. Let's wipe that away. Yeah, smooth. Okay, put that down before you make a mess of it. Okay, I'm gonna be brief on this bit then. I'm just gonna do this bit and then I'll put him down. He says and then doesn't. Yeah, clever me. Betamax for me. Yeah, didn't have Betamax. Not when I was a kid. Or it might have been around, but we certainly didn't have it. Yeah, there, you can go over there, please. Lovely. Mine hips don't lie. They'll tell me I'm too old. Mine lie. Mine lie. Oh, excuse me. Hiccups. Oh, Christulus has joined us. Hi, Christulus. How are you doing, mate? Nice to see you. Crumb says, my hips don't lie. They scream in agony if I do something silly like run up a flight of stairs. Yeah, man. Every time I stand up, actually, out of a chair. There was a time when I could, you know, do a running jump into the back of a top deck of a transit van. That's a very particular thing, I know, but I could run jump hurdles into things. Or yeah, I was very, very fit and lithe, as my father would no doubt testify to. But nowadays, that's all hidden behind layers of beer and cake, and a little bit of age. And I have still twice the amount of energy as all of my young staff, who are mostly young enough to be my kids at work. They're all like in their early 20s, if not younger, like 18 plus basically. I've got twice as much energy as them. I just benefit from an afternoon nap sometimes, you know. Christina says it's not just me then, sitting creak crunch crackle. Yeah, man, yeah. Indeed. The sound of wisdom. That's what knowledge and power sounds like to some people. Crumb says waking up and getting out of bed is like someone dancing on a bag of crisps. Yeah, my knees are pretty bad. Right, you can go down over there as well. Okay, time for all these flappy toe pieces. I think I need to get this angle done here. So I shall. I wonder, is there a better way of doing this? Let me get my tack axe clamps. Thanks, John. I wonder if that is the way to do this. That way I don't have to touch them with my sausage hands. I don't have sausage hands, but you know what I mean. I'm reluctant to spray over that too much because that tells me where it goes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray a little bit over it, and then I'm going to spray around it. And what I'm going to have to do in a minute is come back for a second angle, hold this up the other way so that I can get inside some of the vents and details inside. Can you see in there where the paint hasn't taken? A bit tricky, isn't it? Wait for the underside to dry a little. Wisdom equals crunchies. Danny 2025. Snap, crackle and pop used to be the noises my cereal made in the morning. Now they're the sound of me getting out of bed. Back to work. I'll watch the rest on the show tonight. Thanks, John. See you later, mate. Take care of yourself. See you around, pal. Thanks for stopping in. God, I love that guy. He's so cool. Right, you can go there. Wonderful. This is gonna be left 0. Okay, cool. Clamp you in the same way. Lovely. Wisdom crunchies. Drools. You're a strange one, Shiv. I wonder if I'm actually in shot there. And anyway, that's the meaning of the life universe and everything. Oh, Stafford's joined us. Hi, Stafford. How you doing, mate? Seriously though, you missed out on a massive prize reward that everybody else just got, but you didn't. How you doing anyway, Staff? You okay? Alden Graham's. Yeah, nice one. That's funny. Isn't that a brand of cat treat? Wisdom crunchies. Yeah, probably is. What is everyone's go-to brown paint for leather and stuff? Oh yeah, do you know what? I still haven't kind of worked out my proper recipe on that. I used Vallejo Earth. And then I did highlights in I think I mixed like a khaki with it, and it gave me a highlight for it, and then I did a wash of sepia and Agrax Earthshade over it, I think. Yes, there you go. free merch. No merch staff. This is a humble, low ratings YouTube show. We don't have that sort of pizzazz here at Easy 8. This is a no frills shindig, I'm afraid. How dare you come over here with all your pompous ivory tower sentiments. Merch. Free, no less. When Easy 8 gets to that point, by the way, I'll totally redact everything that I said here. I'll delete this video. Danny was teaching us all about Plimer. I'll let you explain. Desperately trying to keep that little identification number underneath the toe there. I need it to stay there so I don't lose what side it goes on. I thought it hadn't dried. I thought it had dried and it was just shiny, so I put my finger in it, put my fingerprint right in that. That was great. Well done me. It's on the underside, so it doesn't matter. Easy 8 branded Wasmatics. Yeah, wouldn't that be lovely? Yikes, what a demanding crowd you've turned into. Here we go. This is the inside toe of the left foot. Layering up that glossy texture for smooth painting later. One more toe to go. That rhymes. I think it's really made their paint go a little bit further as well, adding those little drops of flow improver in there. That's been really good. I really get in a tiz sometimes about whether I should be diluting something or not. Itchy head, itchy head. Adrian says leather, Rhinox hide, wash with Nuln oil, dry brush skag brown. At least that's what I use. And apparently Staff does the same thing as well. The reason I tried the little highlight colours when I mixed that khaki, if that is what I did, go back a couple of episodes, you'll see me doing it on the Space Marine. was to create like scratches and highlights and things in it. It's something that I've been wanting to do even on like 28 or 32mm models, but I think that they're too small for me to be doing that sort of level of detail just yet. So I tried it out on that large Space Marine, and it worked, but by accident. I wasn't very good with it. It was probably the biggest fail, I suppose, that I had on that project, and I managed to save it by accident by applying the washes. They really made it all pop, and it was really good. But that was not a planned thing. It was, you know, a sheer accident. But as Bob Ross would say, a happy accident nonetheless. No, you use Adrian. Oh, Adrian, that's what I use. You use Adrian. Yeah, outsourcing. Cool. Couple more features to do. I've got these engine exhaust things. Again, I'm going to do the bit that isn't painted right now, even though I doubt there's going to be anything to see there. I just want to make sure that all the seams are painted. When it goes together, there'll be no like rogue colours coming through or anything like that. I'm not checking the screen a lot to see if I'm out of shot. So if you're trying to see what I'm trying to do, and I'm not there, or even if you're not trying to see it and somebody else is, just, you know, just tell me, because for some reason I'm not focusing on the screen a lot today. Been away from the studio for a couple of weeks, you see. These things happen. Studio senility. Right. 4 more bits to go. Yeah. So here, these are the shoulder flappy bits. What I'm going to do here, I think, is I'm just going to clamp him on one side, and I should, if I clamp him not too close, should be able to get that line all the way along. Get another coat on that one and get the underside done as well. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to hit the top side first with a light dusting, because that will dry quicker. I can put him down on that side when he's resting. And it only has to be a light bit because he's already got some on him, right? There we go. It's sliding out of the grip. Oh no. I have to put that down, don't I? I'm going to blast the airbrush and it's just going to fly. Okay, cool. Wicked. What I'll do quickly is I'll just move on to this piece over here. Maybe I'll do 2. Oh no. See, those ones are on a tilt. They're designed so that they're so that you can work out which side it's supposed to go on. But that means I can only hold one. If they're in line, I could have held them both at the same time, but I can't, so I'm just going to deal with it. Okay, definitely gonna have to come back and hit those again, but that's fine, right? And now all I've got to do are the 2 gun pieces. These are really detailed. I mean, these are the main part of the character, aren't they? You can see that I was holding these last time by putting my fingers on them like that. This time I'm going to have to hold it probably on the ends like this, so I can kind of, you know, get those bits done, and then any other details on there at all. So that's what I'm going to do, I suppose. But we are already an hour in, if you can believe that. So I'm just going to get started on this one, and then I'm going to disappear for a quick break. The little white dot on there, a rogue spray of white primer perhaps. Okay, just like I said, going to put a finger on the barrel on the end, finger on the back there, and I'm just going to spray these bits. Now these guns are the parts that have got the worst dots on it, the support dots. I don't know if they actually have a name in the 3D printing community, but they are just little areas where the supports were connected to. Nibs, maybe. So a lot of sanding is required on the back there. Down there we go, and then this one here in the same way. Oh, I've just run out of black primer, if you can believe that, but you know what, it's a really good time to finish, isn't it? So ever so quickly I'll just get my little purge bottle out here, and I'm just going to stick a load of water in there, just flush that all through. Are you still going on Discord after? Yes, I am. If that is to me, of course. Yes, I'll be there. Even though I am super tired, I will be going on Discord, even if it's just for a little bit. I am obnoxiously, abhorrently tired. I just want to come and have a chat with you guys, because I come here for you as much as I do for me. You know, I've made friends doing this show. It's lovely, isn't it? It is lovely. It is officially too hot for me to paint. Too hot to paint for. Oh, to paint for me. I thought you were saying to paint me. I'm not painting you. Yeah, it is hard to concentrate, isn't it? You can buy. I've got one here somewhere under a pile of stuff in the corner. You can buy little, dare I say, pocket humidifiers. They're small. They are about this big, about 30, 35 quid, 40 maximum on Amazon if you're a supporter of Amazon. You literally just pour water into the tops of them, turn it on, and it chills the air ever so slightly, just kind of sends this little cloud of cool water around, and they are really pleasant, and you can put cubes of ice in there as well to really chill the room down. They haven't got the guts to keep this room cool. This is quite a large room, really. The footprint of the room is quite large, and it doesn't have the guts for that, and the amount of heat that can come out in the studio from my computer, from the fact that I'm in the roof being blasted both east to west all the way through the day. This house, get off my paintbrush, man. my house is basically being blasted by the intense sun all day. So when it's hot in here. So yeah, but you could, if you've got like a nice little room that you're painting in, maybe like a little box room or something like that, or just you're in a little cubby hole or something, a little desktop humidifier, not a dehumidifier, a humidifier, really worth the purchase. And mine lights up RGB, so yeah, well, there you go. It really is worth having a little look into nonetheless, because it might make your environment, and beyond your painting environment, it might make that room that you're in just comfortable, you know. Comes with a little remote control, so you can, you know, turn it on or off, or play with all your colours or whatever, you know. That's some stuff for you to think about. I've got charred ends to my Tac-Ax clamps because of all that spraying. Look at that. Charred. Anyway, I digress. It is a break time. Some comments going in beforehand. I'll be on Discord, says Shiv. Well, I'll still be here too. I'll still be here. I'll be on Discord. I don't understand. It's so hot. I'm drinking a cooling Guinness and looking at Hannah mags that require painting. Excellent, that's lovely. Crumb says before that, well, staff, as long as you buy him a meal and have your safe word set up. About using Adrian for your painting services. That got a little dark for my liking. Okay, I'm disappear for 10 minutes. Go grab a fresh bit of water because I'm gonna bring some water back in the next half. I normally bring a grown-up juice, but I'm being a grown-up, and today's grown-up juice is water because it's hot as balls. I'll be back in about 10 minutes. You go change your paint water. Don't drink it. See you in a minute. Bye bye. welcome back. Hope you had a good break. If I'm honest with you, I just sat in the chair and just sat with the fan on, took my headset off and just went for a minute because it was just too hot to do anything. Still got loads of water in my bottle though. Hope you guys are having a good weekend because it is the weekend already. It's Friday if you can believe it. Cheers to everybody. Drink sensibly. It's just water today. And you know, I'm a bit fat because I drink too much beer and eat too much cake, but you know, what are you going to do? Maybe I can have a little break from it once in a while. So yeah, it's all going really well here. I haven't really done any painting during the break despite sitting here. I was just trying to see if like I could fit little skewers onto things to make it a little bit easier to hold. I don't want to sit there and make, you know, drill holes in it or anything like that like I did with my previous project. I think I've been able to hold them, excuse me, well enough now. Just makes it a little bit easier if I can. So they've got little holes printed into them, little drainage holes and things. I've just been sticking skewers into them and shaving the little sticks down to make them fit a bit better if they needed that. Got the hiccups now, just had some water. Yeah, and it just makes it a little bit easier to handle. If it wouldn't fit or if there's no need for it, I haven't bothered with it. Just playing around with that. Yeah, I'm just going to go around, make sure that everything's got at least one coat of black, and then just going to try and like find those little areas, those little like undercuts or overhangs or whatever where the paint can't get into. It's really important to get that paint into them, especially on them toes, making sure that they haven't stuck to the mat that they're drying on. Lovely. And then we basically need to start looking at making some sub-assemblies, and then we start spraying things grey. I've got a grey somewhere here on the desk. It's here somewhere, don't know where it is. There it is. Ammo, MIG, acrylic colour, brush and airbrush, just standard grey. AMIG-0059. When I was using the painting app, I've got a picture of Ed209, the best picture that I could find. Found the right pixel where I thought that the colour was most appropriate, that I liked, and it just selected it and it said it's that paint. So I bought it, and it came the last time we were doing the show a couple of weeks ago. It came on that day. Didn't need it. Still doing all the undercoating, all that prime work. Priming. If you like what we do here at Easy 8, please do consider subscribing to the show, because I do this for you, I do it for me. We're all part of the community. I didn't mean that to rhyme. It's getting a bit weird. So yeah, if you like it, please subscribe, because it would mean the world to me, and it means that the community grows. The more people that we get, the more it goes out there to people. And I love people to like just stroll across to the show and see what it's all about and stick around. Maybe that's the whole point, right? So maybe if you know someone who might benefit from the show, give them a shout out and tell them to come along and grab their kids and bring them along too, and bring their friends and family, and just wear a t-shirt, put a poster up, put Easy 8 on it. You know what I mean? Subscribe. Heck, give it a thumbs up if you haven't done already. I'd love that. Danny dropping fat beats and splitting bars. That is so street. Let's move on. Master of rhythm, king of beats. I can't say rhythm today. Okay, yeah, so just straight back to the beginning then. I'm gonna just gonna go back over these bits here, make sure I've got everything. I think with these pieces, I just need to make sure that all the little details on the underside here are all done. By and large, they look good to me, and I'm happy with that. The front bit in here has been pretty tricky. It's all black now, so you can't see anything, can you? There we go. There's details in there. See all of that? That is quite tricky to get paint into. And I don't want to start using brush. I want really smooth textures. There's a little bit of undercutting in there that I can see, but mostly this bit here and this bit here are just where I want to get those layers now, because I don't want anything to be left to chance. Right, let me get some more primer. Where is it? There it is. Excellent. Where's my flow improver? There it is. I'm going to have to get some more flow improver soon, you know. I put in 4 drops earlier. There's your 4. Love that. Where's brush? There it is. Give it a mix. There's no debris in the paint chamber or in the hopper now, so I can do this quite confidently, knowing I'm not agitating anything loose. There we go. This hopefully should be the last bit of priming I do. Famous last words. First bit I'm going to get here is that underside, so I can put him straight down in a minute when I need to, because it will dry first. Remember, the one with the straight angle on it is the left foot, because the other one's got a twisted angle for joining. I say that because I'm spraying over the letter that indicates what side it's for. This is the left foot. Excellent. If you can see that shiny bit underneath there. Yeah, that little bit just there. Let's just try to make that dry off. At 300 subscribers, Danny will write and perform the Easy 8 rap. I think I just did, mate. But whatever. The chatting youth. There we go, that's that one done here. Here's the one with the angled thing on it. Do you see what I mean? The angled bit just in there, the nubbin that's going to connect onto it. That means it's the right foot. There's a lot of dots on these legs. I was hoping, because these bits are really prominent on Ed, they stand out along with the face. And I was really hoping that they would be really smooth. But they are not, so they're going to require a little bit of work. Again, just trying to make this bit dry off. So I can put him down without him being tacky and sticky. There we go. These were the tricky bits earlier, weren't they? Lots of undercross on them. I'm going to come back to those because they're really quite difficult. The engine exhausts need some attention on the inside of the exhausty bits. Manifolds, is that the right word? Yeah, let's say it is. That's much easier. Putting on that little skewer just means I can get those little harder to reach areas or harder to hit areas, bits that you're holding it normally when you're spraying it. Yeah. I think this accordion style billow thing here, I think is actually glossy black anyway. So if I just paint it with this stuff, it's probably going to come out pretty close to what I want it to look like, right? So now with that, I can stick that in my little polished iron paint stand thingy. I call it a porcupine. Arms. These are just stuffed into little drain holes. It's funny, when you spray this directly onto the bare resin, it goes on really thin, but really really wet. It's really hard to describe. It looks like it's almost oily, like the texture is like an oily residue or something. And if you're spraying it with just air, just to try and dry it out, it doesn't seem to agitate very quickly. But you leave it there for a second, and then you go with another light dusting. It dries instantly. It's a very bizarre thing, and I wonder if it's just like an optical illusion that maybe I'm seeing, or I don't know. It's just interesting, isn't it? Like you're sitting there trying to agitate it dry and it won't dry. Like, why won't it dry? And then you spray it again and it dries. Bizarre. This one is actually like it spins around. Let's see that. I'm rotating it. It's just spinning because it's not. It's just going into like a large gap there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it like this. Just hold it with my fingertip. Get this bit done here. There you go. So that looks like it's quite oily, greasy. It's gone on quite patchy, but you can see the whole surface is covered. And I hit it with air, and it's not doing anything, right? So then what I do is I just go light dusting, dry. Peculiar, isn't it? Right, that can also go in the stand. Excellent. I'm going to have to get those in the clamps again, I think. Danny, if you got merch, you could wear a short sleeve Easy 8 shirt when it's hot. Hate short sleeve shirts. Also, it's just an extra layer. It's not about the length of the shirt that makes me hot. It's just wearing that layer. Don't like them. Ain't wearing them. Could wear a polo shirt, I suppose. Yeah, I've never liked short sleeve shirts. I've got one, and it makes me look like a tourist. So I don't wear it. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Easy 8 polo shirt then, Mr. Pedant. Well, maybe I will. Maybe I won't, because someone's calling me a pedant. I was being pedantic. I was being particular. I have preferences. How very dare you? I feel attacked today. By you, sir. hate me Hannah Mags. It's almost like he's not a fan of short sleeve shirts. Yeah, I don't like him. Don't like him. Stop going on about it. Christ. Thanks for touching a sensitive subject. Right, that's his shoulders done. Shoulder fluffy bits. Lovely. Hips. We're getting to all the complicated bits again now, aren't we? Okie dokie. So, these bits are tricky. I've got to get in between all of those, like piston rams. Do you see those hydraulics in there? That's a bit tricky, isn't it? I can see little support dots on these pistons as well. Might just have to face the fact that it's going to have these little nibs all over it. Okay, starting to get layered in paint bits now. Okay. Right, another difficult piece to do then are the toes, right? So we've already spoken about how difficult they are to do. So it's inside those details in there. So if I try to spray in this direction here, is that good enough? So what's happening is that the blast is coming out and it's capturing the lip of that detail there. So I wonder if I take this protector off, I can get in a bit closer. See what happens. That seems to be doing it. It's so tricky. I think at that point it's probably good enough, right? Okay, on to the next one. When it comes to the grey, if I can't get it in there properly, what I'll do is I'll just do those little inside bits with a brush. I just want to be able to try and do as much of it as I can with airbrush because it's just smoother. The moment I start using brush, I add texture to a really smooth looking model. Are you not trying to stack them? What are you doing? You playing mints? Polar mints? Shut up, guys. You're an awkward bunch sometimes, you know. Itchy neck, got it. Right, last toe then. Can you see all those little bits in there that need painting? See all that? It's just really tricky to get the airbrush in there. Okay, they're done. I want to finish off this gun over here that I was doing just before the break. And I ran out of paint, didn't I? So let's get that done quickly. Oh, for goodness sake. I've run out of paint again. Just as I started doing the same bit, I ran out of paint on a minute ago. Okay, right, I'm just going to pop the nozzle protector back on. It's not even a nozzle protector, is it? It's a needle protector, but you know what I meant. Of course you did. Maybe awkward, but I can wear a short sleeve shirt. It's just weird as I can wear them. I mean, I can wear them, I just don't like them. Don't make me tell you how I really feel about short sleeve shirts. I think they're shit. There you go. You made me say it. Be it on your heads, pal. Oh my god, he said a swear word. What we need is a good old Easy 8 cardigan. Yeah, with buttons and everything. That's what we need. The old men's club proper. doing that thing where I'm concentrating and don't talk very much and being a poor host, but it's only because I'm concentrating and being a poor host. How are your projects coming on this evening anyway? We haven't really spoke about your projects this evening. If you're working on something, tell me all about it. How is it coming on? I know there's a few guys that are working on some bits and pieces. Adrian's working on his Horde Guard army. I'm sure Crumbs was doing something with a bird or a hawk or something. Yeah, what's happening? A staff glued himself to himself again, because that often happens. The Easy 8 duffel coats, that's what you need here right now in this weather. Easy 8 Crocs. Do you know, I just bought myself a pair of Crocs and I had my name blazoned into the side of them for a bit of fun. I should have put Easy 8 on them, shouldn't I? No one at work would have got it because they don't. Not very many people watch this from my work. In fact, no one in my current place of work watches this. Not their jam. That's better there. Yep, cool. Let's get these guys done. These are quite difficult. There's a lot of like mechanical square pieces overlapping, overhanging. Yeah, tricky. Put my finger right in that bit that I just sprayed. Yep, love that. But again, it's out of sight, out of mind. It's underneath the Mini. This is what made me think that all the scratches on this model are all like deliberate damage. Look on this piece here, for example. You can see that damage has been sculpted into the back of it. Do you see that? That's kind of cool, isn't it? So that makes me think that all the scratches and scuffs on it are deliberate. But it's such a high detailed model, it's actually difficult to tell. And you're right, Shiv, this heat is a big pile of dew, isn't it? Don't like it at all. I do not. That's for sure. I'm really keen to get some paint on these other bits over here, the head parts, but it's just not appropriate yet because it needs a lot of sanding away. I really want to get some paint on there just because it's exciting to do it and kind of get that next stage done, right? But it's not ready for that yet, which is a shame. Because I'll be able to put that exhaust on the back, put these pieces together, and then he's getting good, he's getting done. But I think I'm done with all of the priming on here. I can sit here and prime it till I'm blue in the face. But everything's had its main coats now. It doesn't need anything else. I'm looking and looking. Yeah, it's looking good. That's about as good as I'm going to get, I think, for priming, and that is fine. Got a little bit of paint left over, so let's get rid of that. Only a little bit. Lovely. Got some gunk on my fingers, but it's alright. the old purge tank out. Keep that there for a second, I suppose. Water, water, water. Oh, itchy eyebrow. Okay, I've got that big old lump of scummy paint that comes away on the hopper in there. Something about that particular primer, it's just really easy to clean. Scoop that out, done. Okay, that's the majority of that taken care of. I'm really keen to put some grey on things now just to see what it comes out like, but I want everything to dry properly. Everything feels a little bit tacky, and that might be actually it's just tacky on my fingertips as I was holding it, but it did feel slightly tacky despite it being warm enough in here to dry out the oceans. So I'm not going to do it. I don't want to rush this model. I want to use the fact that I'm normally very slow as a patience thing. I want to make it go slow. Yeah. So the next part of this project really is starting to get rid of those little pits. So if I go back to the foot here, if you'll call it a foot, we've got these dots here. See these little dots on the side? Those little pits. Now if I sand those down, they've got a crater edge. So if viewed from a side profile, they're not just go along and then they kind of just do that. They have a little bulge up at the top. I'm using my fingers, you can't see what I'm talking about, but they have like a little bulge, and that needs to be sanded down. They also need to be drilled out perhaps a little bit with a tiny bit of green stuff in there. Now I've got some green stuff. This is actually a long part of the job, and it's probably gonna be a bit poo pants. It's a bit rubbish. So basically what I've got to do is just get a piece of this. I'm going to make a super long, really thin sausage, and then just take a tiny piece off and just smooth it into those holes. Let that dry completely, and then get a really fine piece of sandpaper and just sand that down. And it will be a long process, but it will absolutely be worth it, because there's some pretty gnarly looking holes here. Look. And that is a job all on its own. So, for example, I might do one. There's some on the backs of these guns here. See them? Two there. Look. There are some printed circles. They're actually they're printed in there. But there's little dots that you see around it. Yeah, they're not. They're on the sides of these pieces. On the piston rams. See it there? So yeah, a tricky thing to tackle. I want it to be good, so I'm going to put in the effort. Basically, we are at the end of the show, so I'm not going to worry about it too much right now. But what I'll do is I'll just cut a tiny piece of this out so you can see exactly how I use green stuff, because we've not done any of this stuff, I don't think, on this show before. So you'll notice that there is more yellow than there is blue. That is the ratio of resin to hardener. It's not a 50-50 thing with this particular brand. However, what we need to do is we just cut ourselves a tiny piece off. Look. There we go. Try to keep it as equal as possible. Always keep the protective layer on your green stuff. There we go. Now, maybe some of you guys know this, but maybe there's someone out there who's watching this who doesn't know this. When you buy green stuff where the two strips come made together like this, they're already connecting. The idea is that you rub these two together, you mix them up, they blend, they turn green because blue and yellow makes green, right? And then a reaction starts to happen between the hardener and the resin, and eventually it goes hard. But where the two are connected, the reaction is already taking place, and you'll always end up with a really hard piece in the middle of your soft putty. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut just to the side of that on either side, of that join, and we're going to cut that piece away. I'm left over that tiny little dot. There's no yellow on this blue piece. There is a tiny piece of blue on this yellow, so I'm going to cut that away. Don't need that, because that's already hardened. That reaction is still taking place. It has happened, and it will be difficult to sculpt with it. So I'm just gonna basically smush these two other pieces together, make a royal mess of the mat. There we go. Green stuff is really sticky, and it's a really good sculpting tool. I haven't used it for a really long time. I have been trying things like milliput and things like that recently, and I just can't get on with it. It's really crumbly, it's fibrous, it falls apart. I can't get it to behave the way I want it to. The green stuff turns into a real nice, thick and sticky lump of modelling putty, and you can see that it's starting to change colour now, where the blue is blending with that yellow. And it's sticking to my fingers. You can see how sticky it is when it's pulling. You can see it pulling my skin. Watch, that's really sticky, and it just needs. I'm not going to use both fingers because these have got black paint all over it, and it will take all that off, and I don't want it to get mixed in there. This is just the test piece, but this is about the size that I'd work with. I don't need any more than this. I bought all of that massive pack just for a tiny piece like this, and I'm not going to be able to use much of it in one go. Because by the time I've smushed some into a hole, the other stuff's already starting to dry, right? So roll it out a bit, make it go flat, and then you can fold it over on itself, and that's a really good way of blending it in. Also for picking off the stuff that was stuck to the mat a minute ago. Roll it out, like that. Sticking to me. Come on, stop sticking to me. Yep, little bugger. Flatten it out a little bit, and then either roll it up or fold it over. Oh, it's so sticky. So sticky. You can buy like modelling Vaseline as well. I think normal Vaseline works fine, where you could like smush a little bit of Vaseline on your work surface or even on your fingers. Water also works a little bit as well, so I can wet my fingertips there, and it stops sticking to me now. Oh yeah, much easier. Yeah. Roll it out. Roll it out. Flatten it out. I can still see little bits of yellow in there, yellow being the predominant colour before I started mixing it, so you're going to get a lot of that in there. Roll up the edges, smush it back together. It's getting sticky again now, a bit of water again, and that allows me to handle it without it sticking. Good stuff. And now look how green that is. Cool stuff. Smushed it in a hole. Snarf. Purge tank, is that something that the Israelis use in Palestine? I'm not even going to touch that. I'm not even going there. Not in the slightest, mate. Or a new piece of kit for the Black Templars. Religious nutters explains a lot. Uh-oh, someone's been drinking, haven't they? Yeah. No super glue tonight, though. No, I see that. Cool. There we go. That's pretty much mixed. That is now a totally different colour. Blue and yellow makes green. And then what I would do from here is I would just roll it. That looks like a super thin sausage. That's still too thick. The problem is when you start getting so fine, you start rolling on one end, it starts flicking around on the end like that, and that's just, I can't work with that. So let's cut that off. Don't want that anymore. Yep. I need a bit of water on the finger tip there, just so it's not sticking to me. There we go. Now we can see that has gone super thin. Anything thinner than that, and there's no point in me really having it, but it means that now I can cut off little sections of that and smush that into the holes. Snarf. So somewhere here, this is the only sculpting tool I have really for this. I've got a couple of like pokey tools for sculpting. Things like this, they might come in handy, they might not. But I got the GW not palette, the what do you call it? Smushy thing? Spatula? Yeah, spatula, that's the one. It's got it's not like super sharp, but it does mean that I can cut the soft stuff that is green stuff. Put that over there. I can cut off another end like this. That's still too much, right? So I'll cut that in half, and then I can smush it. There's still tons, absolutely tons. A little bit of water on the end of that to stop it from sticking to the tool. And one hole is gone. Got to sand that down. I've got to keep this as flat as I possibly can, as smooth as I can, because otherwise it's more sanding essentially, isn't it? Got a little bit of residue left on there, so if anything this little tool will come in handy for just lifting that off there basically. I've got to be careful because I don't want it to dry on my scapula. Scapula? Spatula? My scapula? Why am I using my scapula? Douchebag. Pick up that next piece there. Smush that in. Water on the end of the palette knife. Let's call it that instead. This is very flexible, like super flexible, and it might be that it's a little too flexible. See how bendy that is? Oh no, so bendy. Words are harder to be fair. Yeah, they are. My apologies for this evening. Guinness has been consumed in very little painting as a kid. That is absolutely fine, mate. Again, a little bit of residue on there. I'm going to use the back of this knife because I think it's probably better. Nope, it was not. Who knew the sharp edge of the knife was better? If it does dry in there, I can just like cut it away, sand it off as well, but I just don't want it to dry in it. See how long it's taken? I need to refine a little process on this, and I think that maybe a metal tool or a less flexible tool will probably be quite handy. Oh, stretch my legs out, bunch my legs up. I can see that's actually come out of the hole a little bit in there, so got a bit more. I think I can add, like, not a thinner, but maybe, well, maybe it is thinner, something to green stuff to make it a little more liquidy. Maybe like white spirit or something like that. Not that I'm gonna add white spirit to it. I think that's probably the wrong thing to use, but maybe there is like a thinner or something. That means green stuff is less thick and chunky. You know what I mean? You know. Yeah. Maybe I have like a little cotton bud or something that's got thinner or water on it or something like this. If I just dip that in my water here, what happens if I go over this now? This is a new world for me. I haven't done this before. It's exciting, isn't it? One more then. One more, just for funsies. go. Smush that inlet. Focus is a little bit out, isn't it? Sorry. And then got a big bead of water on the end of that scapula. There we go. I can use that to smush it in. So yes, there is more priming to do, but that's only because I've obviously got to sand all this down. There'll be little bits of green stuff left on it. There'll be sanded marks on it as well, and that's all got to be re-primed. But you get the idea, don't you? There's going to be a lot of this. So next week's show is probably going to be Easy 8's green stuff club, which is fine. Is it? I don't know. So yeah, sanding down all those little holes, that is so much fun. It's not, it's actually quite a nuisance. I guarantee you I'm going to get sick and tired of it real quick. But I think I need probably a slightly better scapula. Just because this is a little too flexible. It doesn't have the guts to do green stuff properly. And you can see how much that I'm using in one go. How much of that green stuff I actually cut off and how much I'm left over with. Really, that's already doing its bit. You know, that's going to be useless now. I'm just going to put all that together, so it's just, I'm not going to use that tonight. It's going to be too hard, and I'm hot. So anyway, look, we're done here, I think, today, aren't we? Let's tidy away a second. Let's come away from here. 9 o'clock already. I missed it last week, you know, but I was so busy, so busy. Helping run a festival at where I work. We're a centre that has like 520 beds for people to come and stay at, and we had 1,200 people staying on centre. We opened up all our fields as camping and all sorts of stuff. Local landowners giving their fields and things as well, and it was great. It was a wonderful little festival. But I just needed to be there to support my team on a really busy day, a busy couple of days, and it meant that I worked right through 1 week over the weekend and then into this week as well. So it was just a little bit much. So I just thought that it was best to avoid doing the show because I didn't know if I'd be home in time. I wasn't, and come back here now, and it's been 12 days, and I'm shattered. I'm pooped. I really am. Stafford there saying thank you. No, you're absolutely welcome. And Shiv as well. Thank you very much. I prefer to use smells for communication. I don't understand. Oh right, because words are hard. Right, yeah. Try not to use them myself. Memes and pop culture references for me. Yeah, fair enough. I struggle to talk at the best of time. Like I love doing this show, but I stammer and I get my words mixed up, and sometimes it just comes out as blah, 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 and yeah, whatever. So I feel your pain, pal. Also, Danny, one step closer to monetization. Am I? I mean, I know that we went up 1 subscriber last week. Have we gone up more? Let me check my phone. Does it tell me? It doesn't. Does it now? No. Maybe we are. Maybe we're not. Do you know what? I've had a wicked evening with your company. Thank you so much. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe if you like this show, or if you find it useful, or maybe you don't like it. Maybe it's for someone else. Maybe you know someone else who might benefit from this show. They're doing a lot of painting. Do you know what, mate? I know this show you should probably tune into, because I'd like that. That would be great. Thanks ever so much. If you haven't already, please hit the thumbs up button. I'd love that. Pain Pal is what they have in the BDSM community. I don't like that. It's getting weird again. Oh. There's going to come a time as well, and I want to say this now, there's going to come a time where I'm going to have to pause the show for a couple of weeks, because it looks like that my partner and I are getting the sale on the house. We're trying to buy a house together. It's lovely. and it is getting closer to that time. We think it might be around sort of late July, early August as an early end to move in. It might be sort of middle of August perhaps, but around that time, obviously there's going to be a lot of packing up. There's going to be moving, setting up in the new house. Obviously I have broadband to make sure that I can actually broadcast this show, and it's going to be have to like getting the broadband provider to you know all the stuff. So I will be not present on this show for a while. I think it's important to say that now because I was talking about not being here last week and preparing you for that. Now I will try to be as present as I can on our other media, which is Facebook, Instagram, Discord, etc. Maybe I'll be doing like little comments here on YouTube, but the show probably won't go ahead in that time. And I just want to prepare you for that because even the show is small, it's humble, in a lot of ways it's a load of rubbish, but there are people that find value in it, and for those of you that watch this regularly, if that's going to interfere, I'm really sorry, and I will return. It's not now though. I'm still proceeding. All is good in this hood. Don't fret yet. I'm a rapist, aren't I? Anyway, look, that's enough of me yabbering on this week. Thank you for your company while I did all this priming today at the Easy 8 Priming Club. Join me next week for the Easy 8 Small Bits of Putty Club. Until next week, stay safe, be kind, keep on painting. Don't forget to get some colour on your grey, and I'll see you all again next time. Take care now. Bye-bye. It's just so hot.